Her addiction, though, caused her to get behind on the child support and lose the kids. Like,
yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Is it the Good Samaritan law?
No, I don't think that's what it's called.
Michigan passed a Good Samaritan law in 2016. That was recently. Michigan's Good Samaritan law prevents drug possession charges against those that seek medical assistance for an overdose in certain circumstances.
Certain circumstances.
Yeah, that's the thing is.
So how about you just make it cut and dry?
Okay, so this is... Do you want me to read this?
Sure.
Michigan's Good Law Samaritan law. During a drug overdose, a quick response can save a life. However, people illegally use drugs sometimes fail to seek medical attention during an overdose for fear of alerting the police to their illegal drug use. In order to prioritize saving lives, Michigan passed a Good Samaritan law in 2016. Michigan's Good Samaritan law prevents drug possession charges against those that seek medical assistance for an overdose in certain circumstances. This law makes saving lives a priority during the drug overdose, not criminal prosecutions of illegal drug users. Let me open this and read the entire...
I think that's what I was told, because the guy was like, oh, nah, my case. I've been told it by several people, but they say, no, it's the person reporting it. That's why it's only the one person. So they say, the person reporting it, well, you're good to go. Who are the other people in the house? No, you didn't report it. You're not good to go. What are you still doing here?
Right.
Either way, that's... Even to have people think that. But like I said, I've had a few people tell me that, no, that's... yeah, they wish it was the case, but, everything does happen for a reason.
I mean, at the end of the day, if somebody ODs or something, report it, and if there's more than other people, tell them to get away. I don't know. Or just still try to save the person's life. Screw, I'll go to jail for however many days if it means my friend's life is saved.
Right.
Screw that. I'll take all the charges and all the fines. Of course, when you're in that state of mind, you don't always think that, because different drugs can cause different things like paranoia or...
I think just being there when you see someone close to you turns blue and starts dying, that alone would freak you out.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do. Nobody would know until you put yourself in that situation. But then at the same time,
we've all been in the situation where you don't see them... some people will die of an OD and you don't know that they're dead until the next morning. Well, I've never seen that, but, let's say you're in a situation... We've all seen our friends pass out from booze, writing on them, drawing on them, whatever else. And then how, sometimes it's not always so cut and dry, because you might think that they just have to sleep it off and will wake up in the morning that they're just passed out cold, but then they die in their sleep because of an OD. So it's not always so cut and dry, so it's just a slippery road. And we've all seen friends passed out drunk, so you don't know. I've never seen anybody die of an OD, but
yeah,
I could imagine. I mean, some cases it is cut and dry, where you see the blue and the foam. And
yeah. Well, there was a case in, I want to say it was Texas, but it might not have been. But regardless of where it was at, it was a fraternity, and they were, their hazing was just get the kids drunk. Which, okay, they're not making them do dumb, they're just getting drunk. Well, one kid, he fell down some stairs.
Oh, no.
And he just laid there, and they just thought, he's drunk. Well, he broke his neck, but he ended up dying.
Yeah.
And those kids, went to prison.
Yeah.
Because they didn't report it. And they're like, well, we didn't know. They're like, well, you should have checked it. And that's kind of a...
I guess it's common sense, though, things, too.
But
Parents need to teach your kids
how many times have you been at a party and you see somebody
sense.
fall? Boom, he was pretty drunk when he fell. He's just sleeping it off.
But usually, I've never seen anybody fall in that, like that, and then nobody go check on them. Whenever I've seen somebody get hurt at a party. Because you're...
Whoa.
You were.
I was? What?
Well, it's probably because he had no women there.
Yeah, that's what
all the guys.
No, I'm sure there are women there.
Yeah, that's true. Frat parties.
You know about frat parties.
A little. I didn't go to them like that. But I never did. We just did Welcome Week, and then we just walked around the streets. I never actually went in a frat house. Ever. Just, walked up and down the streets of wherever at Western Michigan. I don't even know the road. It's some famous road we used to know. I don't know it now. But everybody just parties on the lawn.
Westnedge?
No.
Drake?
No.
That's so
it's where
Drake.
the frat houses are.
I don't know.
I'll look it up.
Where the sororities at?
I don't know. It's weird that a small college would even have a frat house.
Anyway. So
Fraternity Row, maybe? Is that what we called it?
I got my 7-month coin.
I know. Thank you for sending it to me.
Yeah, no problem. I don't think I've ever been sober this long.
I know. You almost made it sober this long, and then you relapsed before.
Yeah.
It was like 6 months.
Something like
5
that.
months. I'm so proud of you.
I know.
It's because you're just taking it serious.
I mean, I took it serious
You
before,
did.
but this time, it's a step further.
You know different triggers now, and I think you're looking more into your mental health
Yeah.
now because, it's easy to slip up and get into depression and then...
Yeah, and I surround myself with good people. Matt,
I think
Ryan, Anna. They're good people, and I bounce stuff off Matt and Ryan all the time.
good.
They're good people that I can talk to, and they get it. And I listen to them and help them as well. So I mean, it's good to have those kind of people.
Yeah, I think the sober living house was the best thing you've ever done. And then honestly, when you called me, I just sent you a letter when you were in rehab talking about you should get sober living because I had actually watched a Joe Rogan podcast with Steve-O and he was talking about how, you all know how crazy that guy was and how he lived in sober living for like 2 years or something. And they were like, why did you stay there that long? He's like, I had to do what I had to do, and it, saved my life, helped you, like, because you get to rehab, and then you have to, like, you go out and you go home, you have to, like, how are you supposed to do the world again? You have to get readjusted to how to do things and how to live, and then Sober Living House, I think, just kind of eases you into it. And then I literally sent you a letter, and then you called me the same day, and then you said you were thinking about a Sober Living House, and I'm like, yes, like, that's God right there telling you that. That's a sign that is a for sure thing, and you've been doing so well, and you make friends, and then, you haven't had this good of a friendship as you've made in Sober Living in a really long time.
Right.
Because I think, your high school friends were great, but you grow apart.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of have different paths, different lives, and then you see each other, but how can you relate? You can't relate. You can't relate on a true level, and you've just been kicking butt there, and you really know. I think it also was crazy when I heard about you seeing addiction, that you never had seen it before, or somebody deny. I don't know if that could have changed perspective too, and then you just kind of say like, man, that's how you were, to everybody, and then you kind of see it in a whole new light.
Yeah, I mean, every day I'm learning something new and something different. I'm seeing different things, But yeah, seeing a good friend like that, it just made me change the way I thought about, not about that person, but just about
right.
my probably being that same way at one point. But
yeah,
I wouldn't look at Ryan or look at Matt or look at you and lie about if I relapsed.
Right.
I would say, yes, Kylie, I did.
That's
and
a good thing.
Guess what? I'm going back at it again. I'm not going back at drinking again, but I'm going back at the sober life again because I love it. We have a lot of fun in recovery.
Yeah.
We laugh a lot.
Good.
I've had people tell me, I've never laughed this much before.
Aw, I know. You are so funny.
And but it feels good. It really does. And like you said, it all happens for a reason. And things like that have been happening to me a lot, Kylie. Like the letter thing. Yeah. Like
that was insane.
A friend of mine, Kendra, she's away and something was just telling me, like, I need to find out where she's at and write her a letter. And so I did. And then, like, the next day after I sent it, her man or whatever called and or sent me a message and was like, hey, you know, she wants to write you. And I'm like, dude, I just wrote her a letter. Like, that's crazy. And stuff like that has just been happening in my car. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if I told the story about that yet, about barely making it in. Cause, well, my alternator was bad.
Yeah.
So, like, I could charge it and it would get me to work and back. So I was like, all right, cool. And then, you know, it was like $400 to fix it. And I was like, okay, well, we can get that done. So I took it in the morning. I was going to take it in, though. Ryan and I went and hit a meeting in Charlevoix, and then we were going to go to breakfast. Well, on the way back, like, you know, it was supposed to rain that day. I can't use my wipers because it'll kill the battery.
Oh, no.
So on the way to get some breakfast before we dropped my car off at 10, lights start coming on. Like, the sign. Because first the ABS light would come on, or one of the lights would come on. And so I had to rev the engine. So we're trying to fly over to Petoskey from Charlevoix. And I'm trying to hit all the back ways. So I'm like, well, if it dies, I just won't be in traffic. And I looked over at Ryan, and he's just laughing his ass off. And then I was like, well, you know, God's going to get us there, Ryan. God's going to get us there. And he's just like, I hope so. And I was like, this is just the devil, you know, messing with this is the devil trying to mess with me, you know. So I hit this back way, and we coast down, and I hit through Walgreens parking lot, pull in, and we just made it. Boom, it was dead.
Oh my god!
I know, right? Like,
to Walgreens?
No, to the place.
Cart. Okay,
yeah, because it's right next to Walgreens, and it was just like another one of those signs that, like, you know, I swear to God, I had 100% faith that God was going to get us there, and I was just enjoying the ride. It was fun, you know, revving the engine. And I don't know, we had so much fun with that whole alternator thing. We went to a pizza place, and we had the charger outside, and we got the extension cord, and we put it around the emergency exit, and then the lady caught us. And the people were walking by the car, they get the hoods up, charging, it's plugged into the people were probably like, what in the hell? This is a rich neighborhood. So they were like, what are these ghetto asses doing with that 2002 Mazda out there with the hood up? And and we're just having fun with it.
Like, they're stealing.
But I could have looked at it like, in past me, I would have went right out and drank. Because I would have known how to deal with the situation. But when you have faith in God, I swear, it's just like, you know what?
You're just not sweating the small stuff.
Yeah.
The things you can't control. Like, you cannot get mad over the things you can't control. If you let every little thing work you up, then, I mean, you're screwed.
Yeah. And you have to filter what you allow in, and it's just like anything else, you know. If someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, Kylie, ice cream tastes really bad," you'd be like, "Okay," you know, or whatever. Sunflower seeds are, they're horrible. That's your case. You know, you'd be like, okay, whatever. Thank you, see you later, and they would leave, and you would delete that right out of your memory. Like, your short-term memory wouldn't even, it'd be like, kick out what they said. But you have to learn how to filter that out, because it's easy to go, what are you talking about, sunflower seeds? I love sunflower seeds.
And get offended.
Yeah, but you just have to go,
screw that.
Yeah.
You cannot get offended by anybody. The thing is, like, we walk so many different paths. Everybody has their own opinion of everything based on their own personal journey. And then so you can't let somebody else's opinions make you mad, because they're entitled to them too. And you're like, okay, good for you. You don't like those. But I do. Because that's the path I walk. That's my journey. But you can't like those because I don't like those. Yeah, exactly. So many people are like that. That's what I hate, when people hate people for having a different opinion. It's like, no, they just walked a different path. So they've seen different stuff, because we're all different human beings. And been through different situations and life lessons, and life just teaches us all ways to kick us in the ass.
Yeah, and I want to say I think Donald Trump's doing a great job.
As long as he's not grabbing anybody by the pee anymore.
Yeah, well, he can do whatever he wants.
Besides his wife.
Speaking of pee,
oh, Lord.
R. Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
He's doing great.
He's in prison.
Oh, maybe he's not.
He's not, or he's in jail.
No, maybe he's not doing great. I don't know. I don't keep up with him like you do.
He's not on, I didn't keep up with him. And he has no bond or whatever.
This might be a little weird
Nobody
since
can
you're my
bail him out
sister.
of jail. Or gel, as my mom says.
Joe.
Gel.
But,
Oh, Lord.
okay, say you met